Welcome to the Own It Show, guys. I'm so excited to be here with special guest and my friend, Sarah Hauch. And, it's just such an honor to be here with her because she's also my guide in the Modern Mystery School. And I've learned so much from her, and she's brought so much light and increased my manifesting and all the things into my life. So I'm so grateful to have her here. I'm going to basically, give her the reins to run the show today because she is a wealth of knowledge. And she's got so much tips for you. So first, Sarah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
I know we're not doing okay, so I don't know if anyone's watching live, but hello, if you are here live, my name is Sarah Hauch. I'm awkward, but that's okay. That's me. I'm embracing it. So Heather asked me to come on. I am a spiritual guide and teacher and healer with the Modern Mystery School. I have been interested in energy medicine and healing and metaphysics my whole life, and I searched the whole world to find teachings, training all over the world, and I finally found the lineage I was looking for when I found the Modern Mystery School 15 years ago. I have used the tools of the Modern Mystery School for the 15 years, and it did everything that it said it would. It changed my life, and I changed my life because it gave me the tools to be me. It doesn't even matter if you're an excellent manifester or magnetizer. If you're manifesting and magnetizing a life that isn't in alignment with who you truly are, it's never going to lead to happiness and joy. And you will attract relationships and money in ways that don't bring you joy. And so, everything that the Modern Mystery School teaches us, the healings, the classes, it helps us to be us and to master every area of our life. And so, Heather, she messaged me, she goes, "Want to come on and talk?" And I said, "Yes, I love talking." And she said, "Well, can you give us some tips about, how we can use metaphysics in this to improve our physical?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." So I wanted to do a couple things today. I want to define metaphysics. I want to define enlightenment, and then I want to talk about why is it that, what would being a state of enlightenment be like, and then why aren't we in that state? How can we get in that state? How's that sound, Heather?
It sounds perfect, and I'm so excited to be on my enlightenment journey with you and here with all of you guys today.
Well, I please jump in anytime you want because you are have always have wonderful things to say. So let's talk metaphysics. Excuse me for looking down. Sometimes I'm going to be referring to my notes here. But when we talk about metaphysics, metaphysics is the study of anything spiritual. So physics is the study of the physical world, biology, psychology, ecology. Physics is the study of the spiritual, or the physical world. Metaphysics is the study of the spiritual world. Meta meaning above, so above the physical. So anytime you hear the word metaphysics or metaphysical, we're talking about the study of the spiritual world. So it's a quite a recent phenomena and state of being that humanity is in right now, that we have put such a emphasis on science, on the physics, and not of the metaphysics. In fact, it was the 19th century where science and philosophy split to become different fields of study. Before that time, before the 19th century, philosophy and science worked together to find answers. And now, with this split in a lot of fields, they've seen each other as almost contradictory modes of beliefs. What you're seeing now is like, if anyone knows the caduceus, which is, seen in the medical system, but that the snake move wielding its way up. I think that we've had the separation of science and philosophy, and what I'm seeing in a time now is this coming together again, of philosophy and science coming together, and people wanting to use both of these systems to find answers. So, um, what what is enlightenment? So, because if you're going to say, well, what's the point of studying philosophy or studying metaphysics, would be Okay, well, then maybe to be enlightened, to understand the spiritual world in a way to have it affect and help our spirit, our physical world. I'm just killing speaking today.
You're doing amazing.
Okay. So, um, to understand metaphysics is to empower the physical and vice versa. And so if you're someone who is striving to master your physical world, your health, your family life, your relationships, magnetizing your dream partner, having millions of dollars, creating a business for yourself that gives back to the world, being in service, understanding metaphysics is going to empower your physical world. At the same time, understanding yourself in the physical world helps you to know who you are as a spiritual being. So, what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is the process of knowing thyself, raising our vibration and our awareness to a state of our true being. Enlightenment is this process of growth towards full enlightenment of your spiritual self. What does that mean? Okay, we I cannot stress enough that it doesn't matter if what you're creating, that if you don't know who you truly are, it will not lead to lasting happiness. Can you attest to that, Heather?
Absolutely, because you don't know what makes you happy.
And you might even think that it's going to make you happy. How many times have you gotten the boyfriend that you always wanted only to realize it's not what you wanted? How many times have you created something in your physical life to get it and only realize this actually isn't what I wanted? How many movies is that the plot of, right? They think they want something.
It's actually one of the main reasons I built my company, was so that people don't live in vain, so that you don't build in vain, so that you don't get there and go, oh shoot, this isn't what I wanted, because it's happened to me and I know it happens to so many others.
Exactly. And while I do believe every stepping stone in your life is leading you to the next stepping stone, I think that you can save yourself a lot of, because I think sometimes we kind of veer off our path and then we find our way back to it. That if we can do less veering and stay on our path, that we'll get to the destination sooner. And I really believe, from being an entrepreneur and a business owner for 20 years, um, that the most important thing that you can invest in is knowing yourself, as a spiritual being. And I know that sounds weird to say, that to master the physical world is to invest in yourself spiritually. But when you awaken your true self, maybe that self, that version of you that doesn't have sheer fear, fear or shame, and you just go out there and it's your true you. If everything is vibrational, well, if you are vibrating at your truest nature, then you are going to attract the clients, the money, the life that you are meant to have. Does, yes.
100%. And I also just wanted to say, as you're going through this process, because I'm going through this, and even my mentor and coach and my business coach was talking about it, is as you're knowing thyself, you start to attract new people, new experiences, and new opportunities. And then we get mad because experiences, people, and opportunities leave. But remember, there's no loss. You asked for something different, something greater. And so don't get mad at the ones that leave. Be grateful for what's coming to you, because they actually made space for the new to come as you discover yourself. So you've also got to be flexible on that journey. And yeah, it's funny because when we get more clarity on knowing ourselves, things actually leave quicker and come quicker. I'm finding.
And there's kind of a messy middle sometimes,
Yeah.
right? If your energy field is naturally a bunch of circles, but you were told by the world that you should be a square, as you start to shift from square back to circle, you've maybe built and attracted people into your life that were all squares because you attracted this like vibration. So maybe, especially I see people that are coming off of addictions, and they maybe want a sober lifestyle. They're there's going to be a ton of people in their life that may fall away because you have created a life based on a certain vibration. And when you shift vibrations, there's a little bit of time. So if you are someone who's maybe had trouble with confidence, it's going to take a little bit of time to shift and adjust your life to people who want you to be confident. Does that make sense? We attract people into our lives that have similar insecurities, and as we start to shed those insecurities, sometimes it means we need to shed people,
because we're also shedding the light onto them to allow theirs. And unless they're also on the growth journey, I like to say it's not personal, it's vibrational, right? They'll either vibrate up with you and release those insecurities, or they'll vibrate out.
Yeah, or we're vibrating at our highest version of ourselves, except I am a square and you are a circle.
Yeah.
And that's also awesome that we're vibrating together, but just separating. And that's great too. So where do the codes to our true self live? Well, the codes of our true self live in our DNA. Like I said before, physics and metaphysics work to empower each other. And your physical DNA holds within it the codes for your entire physical body, all of your potential. Similarly, your spiritual DNA hold the codes for your true self, your spiritual your spiritual potential. So in the mystery school, the very first thing, if you work with any mystery school practitioner around the world, the first thing that you're going to do with someone is a life activation. It is an awakening of the spiritual potential inside the physical body. This instantly shifts your vibration.
And your life, I can tell you from experience.
Right?
Yeah.
That
Huge.
when you awaken the spiritual potential and that vibration inside your physical body, it's going to start shifting the physical world. But coming back to enlightenment, and why I wanted to talk about that is, what is a state of enlightenment? Why aren't we in this state all the time, and how can we get there? So, state of enlightenment, and please don't, I'm not a guru. This is just my own experience and some mystery school teachings thrown in for good measure, but enlightenment is moving toward more and more towards a state of joy. And so if you are moving in your life where every day or every month you are sequentially becoming more and more joyful, then you are on the right track. Now, because I love joy. And joy is a launching pad for a whole bunch of different states of being, because joy can be playfulness. I'm a very playful person. I love jokes and laughing, and I love that exuberant energy. But the more that I have worked with a state of joy, joy is actually a state of stillness. So if enlightenment is moving towards a greater state of joy, and joy is actually a state of stillness, anything that takes you away from stillness is robbing you of your enlightenment, robbing you of the opportunity to grow as a person. So it seems so simple, almost too simple to be true. But the best thing that you can do for your growth and development is to foster relaxation in your life. This is so key. Relaxation is the first step towards stillness. And as someone who has pursued a master's degree in, kinesiology and physiology, 100 years ago, when you're not in a state of relaxation, Heather, what are you in a state of?
Chaos.
You're in a state of chaos, stress, and anxiety.
And to me, it's all chaos: the stress, the anxiety, the unorganization, the knowing what you want, maybe being somewhere else. All of it is the opposite. And I love how you say it's so easy, right? But how many of us are in joy 24/7? We're just not. And it sounds easy, but you have that personality and the ego and the external circumstances and life, just life pulling you away from that state of joy. And for so many of us, we can't even wake up in a state of joy because we don't even allow ourselves, because we're like, oh, this to-do list. We worry about how things could go wrong. And we really rob ourselves of that so much. And I think it's part of the conditioning. We're conditioned to be in worry, fear, and doubt. And that is just not our state of joy. So I just had to like try to hold in the laughter because like it sounds so simple. And I'm like, sounds, but have you tried to stay in joy 24/7 no matter what? I'm sure she has. And she is so joyful and like just even usually being in your presence brings me into like more joy. But honestly, just yeah, it's not as easy said as done. And to me, that chaos is not as much fun as the joy.
Right. And I think that, you know, how many success, like if you poll and interview any quote unquote successful person, they're all going to tell you that the morning routine is so key. And maybe the morning routine is actually releasing any of that chaos that's maybe been built up overnight, or built up in excess mental energy, to get yourself in that state of stillness, that state of relaxation. What gets us out of relaxation for everyone watching? Stress, fear, and anger. Stress, fear, and anger are going to take you out of your relaxation, out of your stillness, out of your joy, therefore out of your enlightenment equaling growth and progression. Okay. So what happens if you are in so your stress, fear, and anger are going to happen, right? In fact, you could argue that any stimulus in your life could be stress, right?
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to add, so I have affirmations that go off a few times a day, and the one that's just went off right now is breathe, chill, life is easy for me, and then in caps it's faith and love and light, right? So I feel like that's like the opposite, right, of the fear, stress. So
Yeah.
maybe an affirmation will help you stay in peace.
Well, totally, but I mean, like, let's say, for example, that you wanna live life to its fullest, and you want to take it, like, you're like, I'm gonna try water skiing, right? You might be scared, you might have fear. A stressor could be like when last minute my nanny called me and said that she's unwell and she can't come in today, and that could be a stress. Or anger. Sometimes something angers us. That's normal. But how good are you at transmuting those things and coming back to your center? If you aren't doing that, well, what's going to happen is now it's going to move more into the chronic state of stress, fear, and anger. On a physical level, we could talk about that: cortisol throwing up other hormones. Now you're not sleeping, increased inflammation in the body. Increased inflammation equals more pain. More pain in the body means more stress, fear, and anger, right? So it's this like really crappy domino effect. But ultimately, you start to feel unrested. You start to feel unsure, and it's like you it's what causes us to feel disempowered and out of control in our life. And when we're feeling disempowered and out of control in our life, well, now we can't do, I know you run your program, you're not setting your intentions, you're not creating from a place of empowerment, you're not in your magic. So if I can help anyone on this call today, it's to, how do you bring yourself to that state of stillness?
And that state of magic, I love that you say that. It's so magical to, no matter what's going on the outside, to have that stillness on the inside. And I have to say, I never lived there before. Like never before. I've always been a high performer, high anxiety, get things done, like overanalyze, observe everything, make a meaning and a story to it. There was no peace, right? And I remember the first time I even did like landmark and started studying NLP, all I wanted was peace of mind. The voice to stop, the stories to stop, the meaning, the fear, worry, and doubt, because it does become chronic.
Totally. All I wanted, Heather, I wanted two things. I've always wanted as a little kid to know my purpose, to find my soulmate, and to have freedom. They're the only things I wanted. I thought freedom was doing what I wanted, when I wanted, where I wanted. And while I definitely believe that's true now, because that's what I do with my life, I do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. I know now that freedom is actually in the mental space. Mental and emotional freedom for me is total freedom and mastery of self. When you can master mental and emotional, the mental emotional space, then you're free. When someone can say something to you and it does not bring you off your center, when you could, when someone's like coming at you, or there's no triggers, that is when you are free.
Yeah, 100%. And still on my way to self-mastery, I'm just
Oh,
going to say. And I love the
girl,
universe.
I'm not there. It's not
The
like
universe likes to give you, examples like test runs, right? Like, how are you going to react this time? You can stand up for yourself, yes, but you don't need to be like the angry demon, right? Like, it's finding that peace and balance amongst it all. It's not, and so for me on that path to enlightenment, it was a way also to find a way to stand for myself where things, didn't align or didn't work for me, and not in a place of fear and anger,
yes,
right? And in a simple place of like, this just doesn't work.
yes.
Yeah. And to be in peace in that. And I feel like that's actually one of the lessons I'm repeating right now.
Well, and we may repeat it. Like, I really love the example of this spiral staircase, because I have clients who'll say to me that they keep coming back, like, well, I thought I was over this, but we're climbing a spiral staircase. And so it seems like you might come back to that same point in the spiral staircase, but you're at a higher enlightenment and perspective.
Yeah.
Which is
Love
very
that.
interesting.
Love it. I'm halfway up.
Awesome.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so
Amazing.
you work with people who, well, not exclusively, but a lot of people that may be becoming entrepreneurs for the first time.
Hmm.
Now, when you are in a 9 to 5, you have someone who is defining you, defining when, your time, who's creating your time for you, who's defining your worth. Um, and that's fine. When you choose to become an entrepreneur and work for yourself, it is one of the best things I think you can do for self growth and development, because everything rests on your shoulders now, and there are lots of opportunities to see how you handle stress, fear, and anger.
Lots of
All
growth.
day
Lots of
long, you're offered this wonderful opportunity to see, how am I going to deal with stress, fear, and anger. And gr- if you're setting goals for yourself, a higher state of awareness, it really, I think, is a very beneficial goal to set. Awareness of self.
I love that. It's a very good personal goal. Number one personal goal. Know thyself.
So in the mystery school, someone who really wants to master themselves on all levels is someone who would do what you've done, which is the Empower Thyself class, which is what I teach, which is, that is what starts this path of really saying to the universe, I want to be a spiritual adult. I want to be responsible. I want to accept that I am responsible for everything in my life, and I want to make my life and the world a better place to live in all the time. In the mystery school teachings, the Ensphic Ray system, or what some people might call Reiki, uh, the Ensphic Ray is the full and complete system of enlightenment. And I am so grateful you're giving me the opportunity to talk about this, because it's a great passion of mine. A lot of people have been told that Reiki is a system of hands-on healing. And while that is one component of Reiki, Ensphic Ray, or Reiki, or how you want to call it, was actually it's a process of enlightenment.
Mhm.
Because when we do Reiki, we are flowing this universal ray, this Ensphic ray, or what some people call universal ray, but it actually is an Ensphic ray. It is the ray of God coming through us to heal. But you are determined, you are the determiner of how much this ray flows through you into your life. And so it is through the process of enlightenment, that you become a stronger healer in your life for yourself, clearing your own blocks, and then working for others if you choose. Now, the Reiki philosophy, because you asked me for 5 tips, and I'm like, okay, then Sophic Reiki has 5 tips.
Perfect.
Just for today, it says, which means you don't have to worry about being perfect all the time. Just for today means stop, pause in this moment. Just for today. Do not be angry. So, whatever you're dealing with right now, something's just happened. Okay, it's hard, but you got to take all the anger out of it. And once you can maybe breathe, like your affirmation on your computer said, once you've breathed and you've released the anger, now what's the truth of it? Okay. If you're still not feeling good, second step, do not be worried. This is a tough one as a new mom. You're worried all the time,
And put them in a bubble.
right? And I don't want to do that. I actually have to tell myself that, like if this is my son's last day on earth, then that's his contract. I can't walk around my whole life worried that he's gonna die. So first thing I do is, am I angry? And I have to wait until all the anger in me settles. What's the truth? Am I worried? Okay, yes, I'm worried. I release my worry. Maybe I focus on my solar plexus. Maybe I do some toning. Maybe I do some breathing, whatever I need to do to release the worry. And usually that's good enough. For most people, that helps them, whether they're worrying about money, worrying about a relation, whatever it is, that's enough to get you back to your center. If you still aren't in your center after those 2 steps, third step, be grateful. Sometimes energy comes into me that I can't explain. So I'll just start saying out loud all the things I'm grateful for, and it goes away. If that doesn't work, step number 4, do your duties. Meaning, go into your toolbox and start doing anything you can. Do your affirmations. Heather loves to move, do your movement. Listen to your favorite music. Do your rituals. Whatever you need to do your duties.
Dance party.
Pardon?
Have a dance party. That's my
Have your
favorite.
dance party. People love dancing to release energy, right? And dance is so powerful for shifting our vibration. And then if those 4 things don't work, the 5th step, be kind to others. Make sure that as a spiritual adult that you are not bringing your chaos to the world. That doesn't mean don't go to people for help. Definitely go to people for help, but be kind. Be kind to others.
I love that. And I also feel like when you are in stress and fear, it's the hardest to be kind. And
Yeah.
so I love that you say that, like, don't bring that chaos elsewhere, because that's when we're the least patient. Our fuse is the shortest. Normally that wouldn't trigger you. You wouldn't be mad about it. It's not actually that thing that you're mad about. It's that thing that happened 4 days ago you haven't dealt with. So find that kindness.
Totally. And for people who want more self-growth and development, well, this is often like it's enlightenment. This leads to you having more power energetically, right? For example, like a Shaolin master who works with building chi in the body has more chi, meaning that like, or for example, like Heather, you go to, shove someone. If you're physically stronger, you're going to shove them harder. So someone who's becoming more of a spiritual adult, having more power energetically, when you go out and you're in a bad mood, that hits someone so much stronger. So do you want to leave the world? Do you want to bring your drama places? Or do you want to leave people better than when you found them? I'm the kind of girl that like does the dishes. Like I like do the laundry, I do the dishes, I clean the Airbnb. Like I know that makes no sense, but like I like to, as much as I can, because I'm not perfect, leave people and places better than when I left them.
100%. And for me, that is part of working with the universal laws as well, right? The law of cause and effect, the law of all laws, right? We're the cause, our life is the effect. And so if negativity is coming back to us, that's because we've caused it out in the world. So for me, yeah, leaving people better than how we found them is like one of my mottos. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm going to say, like, I have my moments. And like the person that you're saying, like, if you're super strong and you're building that spirituality, the negative is equally as powerful. So it's like, as you own your power, whether you're more positive or more negative, the power is stronger. And it also requires more of you to be able to manage your emotions so much more and find that peace, because you are so much more powerful and it pulls you harder, right? So the law of rhythm, that's why I really try to work with that. Like, what, it's just good. It's good. Whether it's, however people want to perceive it. I won $1 million. Amazing. It's good. I lost $1 million. Amazing. It's good. So that there's less of that pendulum swing and really owning your power and your emotions and finding the peace. So that is actually one of the major things that I am honing in on right now.
Yes, these deep hermetic truths. So let's recap.
Absolutely.
Metaphysics is the study of the spirit, energy. We need both understanding physics and metaphysics so that they can help each other. We awaken our spiritual potential in the body by awakening the DNA. Enlightenment is a process of having higher awareness of self. The more enlightened you are, the more joy you have. Joy is a state of stillness. When you are not relaxed, you are not in a state of stillness. So having your toolbox of ways that you relax. I like the max meditation system. It's my favorite way to relax. But you have your way. Stress, fear, and anger are what pull us out of stillness. So stress, fear, and anger are going to stop your growth and progression every single time. How do you bring yourself back into stillness according to the Insophic Ray principles? Just for today, do not be angry. Do not be worried. Be grateful. Do your duties. Be kind to others. That is my talk for today.
That was so incredible. And thank you so much. And I feel like we can all take this in and everyone can use it, especially right now, because there's lots of things that are pulling us out of our peace. And this is exactly what we all needed to hear today. So I'm so grateful to have you and to share this message and to help everyone on their journey of enlightenment. And thank you for being on mine, Sarah.
Thank you for having me so much, Heather.
It's my pleasure. Let everybody know where they can learn more about the incredible Sarah.
Oh, sure. Well, you can go to my website is temple23.ca, so temple23.ca. If you're interested about the Modern Mystery School, it is a mouthful, but Modern Mystery School int.com. That has all bunch of stuff on it, or insophicray.com also for more information. On Instagram, I'm Sarah Hauch. I love to connect with you there. And if you want to just chat with me, send me a DM and we'll set that up just if you want to talk.
And she also offers amazing rooms on Clubhouse as well. So make sure you get over there into the business Spiritual Business Owners Club. And thank you, Sarah, so much for your time and your energy today and your knowledge and helping this world become filled with peace and ease. So thank you. And everyone, expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye, guys.